2, 1.
Good afternoon. Today is Monday, April 22nd. We are at 5:30 in the afternoon, and this is a meeting of the Utilities Committee. On my right is William Lutz. Unable to attend today is William Twiss, and I'm the chair, John Terwilliger. Today we have two bits of legislation in front of us. The first one is going to be the
system.
hydraulics.
No, the first one can be the hydraulic, the elevator.
The elevator.
Yes.
The elevator.
And Christy, you're going to give us the lowdown?
Yeah. So we are asking for authorization to go out for bid for a repair at the water treatment plant, so the elevator at that facility. We have a leak at the hydraulic cylinder for that elevator, and so we're looking to replace, remove and reinstall the jack, replace the pump and motor, and the associated piping. Originally, at budget time, we had estimated and asked council to authorize $70,000 for that project. As we got into more detail with the specifications and talking to a few different elevator companies, there's a potential that the hull will collapse during the repair, and so they were basically advising us that we probably need to budget a higher amount. So we're asking that for permission to bid the project at an amount not to exceed $95,000, and then that would give us the ability to address that situation should it to occur during repair.
What's this hole that it's going to collapse through? Just
The elevator base itself?
it is the shaft hole,
Correct. Correct.
and it's just going to maybe collapse.
I guess it's not an uncommon occurrence.
This structure is what, 71?
The elevator was put in 1971.
Bill, anything?
Will there be a ribbon cutting for the elevator once it's installed?
We can invite you we can send you a personal invitation if you would like one.
That would be awesome.
Jeff, write that down.
So just accounting, we've got 70 budgeted, want to go to 95. Where's the 25 come from?
There is additional funds in at the water treatment plant. When you budget, you have, right, we do have miscellaneous unaccounted for with it just being such a large facility for the unexpected to happen. And so that could come out of additional funds we have at the water treatment plant.
So if it's not spent, it goes back to that same line.
That's correct. Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. And this is not emergency?
It is not.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Any questions from those in attendance? Okay, and we are looking at this one for the bidding process.
Yes.
That would be the second item. You ready to go to the
This
second
same one?
That'll be the next item.
We need to,
Do you want to run them
No.
separately?
should we run them separately? I think the chairman was just making sure that with this first
This
one, we're
will
just
be
putting
for-
the project out to bid.
That's correct.
Correct.
You're authorizing us to do that at a not to exceed $95,000. Correct.
That was the question.
I say we move forward.
And that's agreed, so with that one, we will move forward. Our second item before is a purchasing agreement.
That's correct. So we typically, when items go above 50,000 or 50,000 and over estimated, then like the last project or the last item, we will ask you for authority to bid. The typical way that we do that is that we will advertise, give contractors a date. They will submit sealed bids by the deadline, and then we will open them typically on the noon of the day the bid is to be opened. There are other opportunities that we have where we can save the administrative costs and the time and the effort to do the formal bidding by piggybacking on what other entities do, and they follow the same formal bidding process as we do, but since they've advertised, we can jump on projects or bid items and get hopefully benefit from economies of scale where volume is higher, and so we can potentially see lower prices based on better unit costs. A good example of this is the ODOT salt bid. Another example is the fact that for decades, I think now, Council had authorized us a long time ago, and so we continue to avail ourselves of the Ohio Department of Administrative Services Cooperative Bidding Program, where the state of Ohio formally bids many commodities, many items, vehicles, equipment, etc., and we will buy off of those lists when we know we can get better prices. Miami Valley Communications Council, which is a consortium of Miami Valley communities, and it used to be the Miami Valley Cable Council, does similar bidding from time to time, one of which is street painting, for example. They also did electric aggregation of our municipal facilities, and Council previously authorized us to take advantage of that particular bid. MVCC is doing more and more of these types of bidding, and so we would like the Council to authorize us to be able to recognize them and authorize us to use them as an alternative to having to go out on our own and bid for whatever it is, projects, commodities, etc., as another alternative to compare prices, if you will. Again, they follow the same guidelines. They follow all the required bidding processes, and so we have no misgivings about using them as a viable alternative. They do have a painting bid that they recently awarded. We would like to avail ourselves of that bid because it is a very competitive bid. That is using funds that have been budgeted in the street budget, so it's not anything outside of what the 2019 budget includes. And so for that reason, we are asking for emergency legislation to be considered.
Okay. Mr. Lutz?
So in these type of arrangements, would MVCC hold the contract, or would each individual community have a contract to pay the vendor?
We would each have our own contract.
Okay.
Any comments or questions from persons attending? Okay, then we are looking at the City of Troy, in conjunction with the Miami Valley Communications Council, authorizing our Director of Public Service and Safety to establish documents as needed to fulfill this requirement, or to take part in this process.
Correct.
With emergency.
With emergency.
This is a good group. I mean, they're really solid folks, and I've got no problem moving forward with emergency.
Okay, and I agree, so therefore we will move forward.
Okay.
Is there anything else to be brought before the Utilities Committee?
No, sir.
Then we stand adjourned.